Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Pixel is joining me. It's been busy this week already. I'm going to take you back in time to yesterday when I was at the allotment and the power tools were out. I've ordered a shelf for the shed at the allotment. I'm going to put up a picture of what I ordered, and this is what I received, which was a bit of a surprise, to be honest. Not quite like the picture. It was cheap, I will say that, but yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to put the brackets together. So after studying the picture more, I can understand now the two pieces are the depth of the shelf, and where those little bits were chipped off, it's a bit like tongue and groove, it's like slotted in together. So then the pieces of wood that make up the bracket, I can see now that one has to go the length there, and then one becomes like that, and then I've got these shaped pieces that are gonna then go into this. So yeah, it's all quite makes sense now. Just took me a minute when it all came out of the bag in all these different bits. Yeah, it's a shame it's not wood treated very well, but I can always paint that. And talking of painting that, I've received the samples for the greenhouse. So I've ordered them from Rust-Oleum, and I'll pop them down here. As you can see, I've definitely gone for sort of green, dark green shades here. This one's a bit lighter. They come in like a sachet, so I'll be tipping them out and doing a bit of a paint test later on. So we've got Serenity, Tea Leaf and Alsburn, I believe, if my memory serves. I just thought that this colouring would be quite muted and blend into the garden more. I've got my little paint testing set up here now, and what I've got here is the piece of wood that broke off the top of the greenhouse last year in a storm, and this is weathered to pretty much the same colour that the greenhouse is, so I'm going to get a true reflection of what the colour is going to be. So that's the three colours. I'm not sure about that middle one. I don't know if that is too light. Is the first one too blue? Maybe the end one is the most natural green. Oh yeah, a definite dilemma. So what do you think? What's your vote? Okay, back to my shelf. I've assembled the brackets. There should be 3 brackets, but I'm going to try and make do with 2 because those 2 pieces of wood are supposed to be the same length and they're not. I could saw that little bit off, but honestly I do think 2 brackets will be ample. They have been generous with the screws and the nails, so that's a plus. I'm not going to attach the brackets to the shelf just yet because I obviously want to take it to the allotment, position it, hopefully it'll work with the down struts. But yeah, I'm part way there. I've made it to the allotment. Now before I start thinking about the shelf, I've got another little project I want to do. I want to make a dog gate. So this is when I bring Bella to the plot, just for safety. Occasionally I might need to pop her in the shed, but I don't want to shut her in with the door. I want some sort of dog gate. So I'm going to make a panel of wire mesh, and I asked my son to 3D print me some sort of like brackets that it can slot into. So I've got a couple of these that he's printed, and they're rigid. I mean, she's only a little dog. She's not like a German Shepherd that's going to force her way out. So my plan is to build the panel, and it should just slot in and out of this when I need it. So that's one bracket on. I've positioned it so I can obviously close the door, and the idea is that that fits the wood. So there's obviously going to be one the other side and the panel. Right, get going. Okay, I've cut my 4 pieces. I've had to bear in mind that this has got to slot down into the opening here. So it's actually going to be slightly narrower, but that's fine. She can't get out of a tiny gap. Well, it fits. I wouldn't say it's perfect, not at all. It's not quite true. I think maybe the shed is a little bit out. Let's be kind to myself and say maybe the shed's a little bit out, but it will work. Well, once I put wire in the middle, it will. Oh, hindsight is such a wonderful thing, isn't it? If I'd thought about it, I should have made it the same size as the wire, because I'm going to have to cut through a middle section instead of it finishing on a line. But I'll make that the bottom. I'm just conscious that I can't put the wire right to the edge here because it's got to slot down through those brackets. So fingers crossed this is going to work. So I realised once I attached the wire it wasn't going to slot down into those brackets, so I decided then I would make it so the wire fits neatly. So I shortened it, and I'm now looking to put hinges on this. So yeah, complete redesign. figured it out over lunch, obviously what means that I think better after I've eaten. So let's see if this works. We have a door and we have a lock, and this is the lock I bought to go on the carrot box. I mean, I knew that there was a reason I delayed putting it on for so long, so that will slide across. There is a gap. Yeah, any carpenters out there will sleep easy, knowing that I'm not coming after their job at all. But it's going to work. It means that she'll be safe in here when I'm doing some jobs that are dangerous to elderly dogs. And just generally when there's a lot of people up here, it'd be nice to know that I can pop her in here. I'll make sure she's got a nice blanket and she can see what's going on. I will be testing it out with her very soon. I don't think she's going to be as impressed as I'd like her to be, but safety first. So it opens outwards, and the unsightly side is this side because I just didn't want there to be any sharp edges on the inside for her. So yeah, only taken me about 3 hours. So the shelf is to replace this little one, which is very pretty but incredibly flimsy, and it's bending. I might find a use for this at home somewhere. But yeah, I've hit upon a problem because it needs to attach to obviously the down struts here, and these ones come out further than this one. I'm looking at the brackets and thinking it might be, so obviously I can attach one to here, but then when it comes to this corner, I'm actually wondering if I attach it that way. That might work. Okay, right, 2 brackets up. We're going to ignore that there's an additional little hole there. This shed is a bit like Swiss cheese. I did wonder about cutting it this end just to make it a little bit shorter. Right, there it is, shortened, and let's do a test. Oh wow, that is unexpected. It's rustic. It suits the shed, I guess, and it certainly holds more than the previous little shelf did. But yeah, as per usual, these, what I think are going to be little jobs, take me so much time. I suppose I must improve in time. Yeah, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but I ended up having to secure this bracket because there wasn't a down strut here. I've actually gone through to the side. But yeah, that's going to work. It's pretty sturdy. Good. I've had a good tidy, and that little shelf I've managed to just rest on the top of this one, so that's holding a few more bits and bobs. I'm really quite pleased with how organised that looks now. It's ready for Bella tomorrow to see how she settles. I don't intend to lock her in here for hours on end. She enjoys a little mooch around the plot, but as I said before, it's just nice to know that there's somewhere safe for her. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Until next time, make sure you take care now.